Welcome to Les Sables d'Olonne for Vendée Globe Live, a programme daily every day at 13:30 UTC, 14:30 here in France. A beautiful day in Les Sables d'Olonne, and the news from the race course. Well, Charlie Dallin has about 140 miles, something like that, left to get out of the Indian Ocean into the Pacific. Of course, the line where the Pacific and Indian meet is just under Tasmania. Otherwise, we're seeing a little bit of a gap developing between the top three and fourth place, perhaps. We're going to watch how that evolves over the coming days, but this high-pressure ridge is developing, and that really is threatening to open out the fleet a little bit. Otherwise, it's been pretty tough in the low-pressure system, which is just to the east of the Cape of Good Hope and west of the Kerguelens. We saw some sail damage for Tangila Turkey. For Girek Sudi, he has damage to his J2 and is having to head potentially down to the Kerguelens to try and find some lead to make some kind of repair, but that is not easy. But it's all been in the same low-pressure system. Antoine Cornic and Human Immobilier, he's had a big problem. He's had damage to his mainsail cars and he's had to have his mainsail down here. So over 50 knots last night in the gusts, so really brutal conditions. And now he too has to find some way of repairing that. It's going to have to go up the mast, I think, at some point. But so tough conditions for him at the moment. And today I'm honoured to have as a guest Loic Peyron, who needs no introduction in the world of ocean racing. He was second in the first edition of the Vendée Globe, won the Route de Rome, but it's pretty much won everything else in ocean racing. Loic, how are you? How are you enjoying this Vendée Globe?
Ah, that's fascinating. Hello, Andy. Hello, everyone. It's a crazy edition. They are going fast. The boats are crazy, and the skippers are pretty good. Even there is a big gap between the leaders and the tail of the fleet. It's very, very interesting to follow.
And we had 40 starters and still 38 boats in the race. What do you put that down to?
And that's interesting to see that all the boats are sailing well. Only two guys already are not more racing anymore, but I'm impressed by the rideability of the boat and the average speed they managed to do, especially the leaders for sure.
Good. Come back to you in just a few seconds, Loic. We have Boris Herrmann with us. Boris, how are things on board Malizia today?
Hi, Andy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Loic. Cheers from the Southern Ocean. We have a beautiful day with flat sea, and so we can do some fast reaching with the J2 and one reef. Justine and I are reaching along here the Australian buckle of the ice gate, and I just have 50 miles left to the Cape Leeuwin line.
Looking forward to Cape Leeuwin then, Boris, I'm quite sure. Big, significant moment for you.
Yes, Cape Leeuwin feels more significant than Cape of Good Hope because it feels like we're almost halfway through the Southern Ocean, and whole Vendée Globe appears in a different perspective. It's probably a big 2 weeks, a bit more than 2 weeks, and then we might be around Cape Horn and out of the thick of this Vendée Globe, and so things appear more manageable in terms of we're almost halfway through.
Boris, that's your motivation, is to get round Cape Horn before New Year, I believe.
Yes, Andy, that was my hope, and I just did a routing now to Cape Horn to amuse myself, and it seems potentially possible. So yeah, at the moment we're going really fast. One of the fastest sections for me in the race so far was flat sea and reaching here 25, 26.
Good stuff.
7. So a fast afternoon here.
So, Loic, a connection with Boris. Say hello and maybe ask a couple of questions.
Yes. Hello, Boris. How are you?
Nice to hear you, Loic. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. It's dark night. It's late in the night here already and very dark. The day has been very grey, as you know, the Southern Ocean, typical Southern Ocean day. Not too cold, and then later tonight we we expect to lift and go into VMG.
No, yeah. And if you hear me, Sam, I'm looking at your videos every day, and I love the way I
Oui, je
love
suis
your
là.
little.
Je suis là.
You hear me, Boris?
Yes, yes. Je
Ah,
suis,
okay.
de nouveau.
Now, I was saying I love to see your videos, and especially the way you manage to the decoration of your little aft cabin, looking like a garden little cabin.
Yes, it's a cabane or chalet inspired wood foil, a sticker. And the idea comes from you, Loic, from one of the...
Yeah. Ah merde, on l'entend plus.
Just patience, I think Boris will come back.
Ah, yeah.
I think, Loic, your boat had chimney bricks decoration. You had a decoration
Exactly.
on your boat.
Yes, I had some windows on the farm, on the field, and in fact, right now I'm in a farm. So it gave me 40 years to succeed to have a real farm. But during the first Vendée Globe, yes, I had some cows on each side of the ballast and a lot of wood, and that was funny. And now I had another question. Do you prefer to rest at the back of the boat or more or less in the middle, like some others, like Arkea, like Johan wants to stay? Where is the less uncomfortable place on a boat like that?
For me, it's more back than the Arkea position. I'm almost all the way in the back. And I think where he sleeps, it must be very bouncy.
That's what I think too. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But that's crazy, huh? Those boats are so fast and so noisy and so uncomfortable. I'm impressed.
Yes, Loic. So the decoration, you said that idea came from you, and I saw that in a film a long time ago. So I had to do it as well. And my boat, therefore, is a little bit less uncomfortable than the others. It looks nice, and I feel a bit more cozy.
Boris, what's happening in terms of weather ahead for you? We see this high pressure ridge developing.
Yes, Andy, we see what happens in the dynamic between the groups, and if that allows me to move in a little bit into the guys in front of me. Hopefully, I'm not too much focusing on that. I'm just doing my job, trying to sail well, and also keeping an eye on a big storm next week, south of New Zealand, southwest of New Zealand. Big low pressure, potentially with us, quite strong winds up to 45, 50 knots. So we keep an eye on that first of all.
You're keeping motivated, enjoying it.
Yes, Andy, I'm better than ever in this race. I'm kind of getting into it more and more. Took me a while.
Indeed. Thanks, Boris. A quick word with Loic before you finish.
Yes, Boris.
Yes, Loic. Good to. Yeah, thank you, and I hope to see you soon on the docks in Brittany, and catch up. Have a good evening. Good day.
Yeah, with pleasure. Cheers, mate.
So there we go, Boris Herrmann on board Malizia Sea Explorer. Look, it's tough for Boris because I think he was ranked among the favourites by many of the media, and the race is not going as expected. That's pretty tough, isn't it, mentally?
Yeah, but it starts not from the beginning, but not far, in fact. The lead from Charlie and Seb, but first of all, they are sailing very well, and they were sailing very well since the start. But the gap is not new. I mean, the gap was made just after the equator, just before and just after. And the followers were not really lucky. So the Boris group and Boris is surrounded by women. You've seen that.
No.
He loves to be surrounded and bien entouré.
Exactly.
And they don't want to. Elles veulent pas le lâcher. They want to keep him near them. That's funny. And after that, the second group behind the leader, that's the same story. There is a weather ridge, and you were talking about the high pressure ridge in the next few hours and days. It's not going to be easy for the followers. Yeah.
Tell us about the Pacific, because Charlie Dallin should pass into the Pacific in the next few hours. Is it very different generally in your experience from the Indian?
That's what we say, and I hope for them it's going to be the case. Yeah, usually and statistically, the Indian is, as they were all describing very well, was very bumpy, is very bumpy. The sea state is not very comfortable. The Pacific is supposed to respect his name, and the swell is supposed to be a little longer. The sea state a little more well arranged. And it's a lot better and a little more comfortable for the boats and the skippers.
That's been your experience in the past, has it?
Yeah, it happens like that.
Good.
The first Vendée Globe and the race. I've done only 4 round the world tour and only 1 Vendée Globe, in fact, 3 of them, but I just finished the first one. And my little experience about that, the Pacific is quite nice. And the second reason is, as Boris said, you are no longer going away from the start, but you are getting closer from the finish, which is psychologically quite interesting.
That point is just coming up as well for Charlie Dallin within the next 24 hours for sure. I think the course distance is 23,900, and he should be passing the midpoint, I think, in the next 24 hours. Thanks, Loic. Now then, the two Sams, Sam Davis and Sam Goodchild, have both had little problems. Sam Davis yesterday had 2 or 3 electrical blackouts in a row, and she has fixed them, and she gave us this report.
Je voulais juste raconter un petit peu les galères que j'ai eues. Donc j'ai eu une série de blackouts. Quand je charge mes batteries, en fait le système il n'arrêtait pas de couper, mais couper le bateau entièrement, qui est un peu effrayante. Donc j'ai avec l'aide de l'équipe technique à terre, j'ai fait un peu de dépannage. Et heureusement, j'ai un deuxième système de gestion de tout ça. Et du coup, j'ai basculé sur le deuxième système, mais c'est pas tout simple parce que du coup, faut tout couper le bateau, débrancher les câbles des batteries, et puis rebrancher une série de câbles qui. Donc pendant ce temps-là, si j'ai un problème et j'arrive pas, en fait, je n'ai plus d'énergie. Je peux plus appeler la terre et là il faut vraiment se débrouiller seul le temps que le bateau est coupé. Et bien sûr pendant ce temps-là j'ai plus de pilote, plus rien, donc il fallait arrêter le bateau le temps de faire ce décablage.
Well, there you go. Don't you just love Sam Davis with subtitles in French, or from French into English. But that's Sam. Her problems are solved. Meantime, Sam Goodchild, as I say, he's had problems with his rudder bearings, and this is his report.
Hello everyone, it's Sam. Just a little update. We're on the other giant now, so we've got Queenie instead of Kingy. It's been a busy couple of days. This went past Cape Lewin, so we're south of Australia, which I thought meant was in the Pacific Ocean, but apparently not yet. So I've still got to wait till Tasmania for that. But shout out to my sister who lives just north of here. And yesterday we had the same rudder issue on the other side, so I had to stop and try and fix that. So I changed the bushings on the pin for the rudders, and unfortunately it didn't quite go to plan, and it took about 3 hours instead of an hour. But the good news is it's done. It's a bit scary because you find yourself off the back of the boat with a bunch of pieces in your hands which are full of grease because they need to be greased up, and if you drop 1 or 2 of them, it's race over because they're pieces which the rudder needs to work. And so yeah, it's pretty stressful, pretty worrying. I spent the 3 days before doing it knowing it needed to be done, worrying about it. And then finally got it done, and that was a relief, especially since it all go to plan and we couldn't get the pin in and take it out, sand it. Anyway, it took a little while to figure out what the problem was. live and learn. And then the wind started to die, which actually was really, really nice. We had 15 knots for a while. And now it's back up again. We're back up to 20 odd knots still. So it nosed out again. But it should just for the day, and then I think we now have a couple of days of lighter winds, which would be nice. And apart from that, and a nice little approach this morning. I was in bed. I don't know what happened, but the boat managed to broach and then pass head to wind and tack. So I had the backstay on, the main sheet on, the keel on the wrong side, and the boat was fully 90 degrees in the water. I don't know how it managed that, but it always happens when you're in bed anyway. So just take your time and get your stuff out of the knots, but I don't think we damaged anything, which is the main thing.
So that's Sam Goodchild. It's good to see the King and Queen still in great form on board Vulnerable, but also a special shout out to Sam's sister who's in Broome in the northwest of the Western Australia. Sam has just sailed across the longitude of where his sister lives at 122 degrees east. So good day, Hannah. Have a good day. Meantime, Loic, what's your reaction to the repairs that we're seeing Sam Davis and Sam Goodchild having to make? It's part and parcel of this part of the course, isn't it?
First of all, I prefer to the English of Sam Davis than the Goodchild one. Because he's not easy to understand for me. Now I understood that there were both of them and all the guys on this fleet having problem, which is part of the game. Hopefully they have good crews on shore, but Sam Davis' problem was a bit scary, as she described very well. When you have to stop everything, as we all know, stopping a sailing vessel is not easy to do. You have to furl, you have to reduce sail, and you have to sweat à la cap. I don't remember how we say that, but. And then that's not a very comfortable position. But, and that's the beauty of this game. You have to do everything on your own with a bit of help from your technical team. But that's quite nice to see all those MacGyvers sailing all together.
Indeed, both the Sam's in the MacGyver mode at the moment, or recently. Let's have a look at the weather for today, Thursday. As I say, we're talking about this high-pressure ridge opening out a gap. Well, by special request, looking at the back of the fleet first, looking at Jing Kun Chu here, just at the top of this low-pressure system. He's had quite robust conditions, but his positioning with regard to the low, a nice balance in terms of good speed, and he's sailing a slightly shorter distance than the boats in the north, a couple of which are just caught in the bottom of this high pressure system, so they're quite slow. But he's taken a couple of places. Looking at Conrad Coleman here, who we spoke to, we're just going to play the animation forward and see how that goes for Conrad. The others that we're watching here, Girek Sude, Louis Duc and Tanguy Leturquet, much more aggressive positioning for them, and that they have paid the price. They've had really tough conditions for the last 24 hours or 36 hours. Meantime, up in the north, it's a much more stable situation for the boats coming in there from there, and looking very quickly at this group more towards the front of the fleet, where that's Pip here. We've got Roman and Pip, and Benjamin Dutroux. So this is about 36 hours forward, but seeing that they have generally fairly favourable conditions all the way through. And for the second half of the fleet, looking at the evolution of this high-pressure ridge coming up from the south. Now, potentially, we're seeing a big gap developing in about 72 hours' time. So let's watch how that plays forward. Meantime, watching Charlie Dallin. This little low-pressure system above him has kept him to the south. But then watching how this evolves now, and potentially this cut-off developing, watching it coming in from the south. We're seeing it cutting off between the Thomas Rion and Johan Richomme. And here it comes, very slow conditions for this group. We're back to Boris, who has decent conditions and a nice southerly route. A very direct course for him and the boats behind him. But this is Thomas Riong, and we'll look at that as a still here, and you see how that's developed. This is Johan Richomme, as I say, in 72 hours. Thomas Riong are routing at the moment, suggesting that could be as much as 600 miles, but we're going to have to watch that, say. But this high pressure system, this ridge, certainly causing some kind of big gap, a big chasm in the fleet over the next few days. So that is something to watch over the next few days. Loic, talk to us a little bit about Jean Le Cam and the position, the course he's taken a little bit more to the north and sailing quite directly compared with Guy Rec and Louis Duc. And they're rookies, but they've been right down towards the centre of the low.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's the difference between a rookie and an old fox. An old fox wants to sail comfortably, and yeah, I think Jean wants to. He wants to be sure to finish that Vendée Globe, whatever the ranking is.
What do you think of his boat? These new Daggerboard, latest generation Daggerboard boats.
It looks very fast, and it suits very well to Jean and to his white hairs, I should say. Mm-hmm. But as we knew, and as he know very well since he started that on a white page of paper, that's not a boat made for winning. That's a boat a little less uncomfortable than the other one. And he's sailing so well. You can, if you don't knew that there was no foil, the result is quite nice. But that's another spirit. That's another way, and that's the beauty of the Vendée Globe. You can do it in many ways. You can do it and start with the hope of winning, or just the wish of finishing.
Great stuff, Loic. Let's have a look at Kojiro Shiraishi, who's on his third Vendée Globe. He's quite deep in the low, and he's having quite tough conditions, but he's super experienced, and I think he's even quite enjoying it. This is Koji today.
前線ですね、今40ノットから47ノット、かなり強い風が吹いてきたので、思い切って、ストームジム上げました。この波の中でね、ストームジム上げるの結構危なかったんですけども、なんとか無事に、怪我なく上がりまして、今スリーポイントと、ストームジムで、走ってます。大体波高もかなり高いですね、複雑なギアの波です。初めてね、今回ストームジム上げたんですけど、やっぱり、ストームジムないのとあるのと全然違いますね。やっぱりないと全然船が進まないので、ストームジム上げてよかったと思います。今回初めてのストームジムになります。
Day, well, still the most impressive thing for many people at the moment is Sébastien Simon in second, still holding good speeds without the starboard foil, and certainly his delta forward to Charlie Dallin is fairly static. In fact, actually making a few miles. Charlie's had lighter breezes, but it's 295 miles between Charlie and Sébastien Simon in second. Johan Richomme, he's only about 70 miles behind Sébastien Simon now, and going quite well. Thomas Riong in fourth, Jeremy Biot in fifth, and still, actually, he's made a little bit of a gain ahead of Nico Lundven. Yesterday, they're about 10 miles apart. Now it's closer to 40 or 38, something like that. Sam Goodchild, 100 miles behind Nico Lundven, but has a good course over the next few days. Then Boris Herrmann in 10th. He is about 30 miles, 28, 27 miles, something like that, ahead of Justine Metro. Clarice Kramer, now there's this gap developing between the Justine and Clarice and Sam Davis. Sam, who explained to us yesterday, she had these 3 blackouts in a row and had to stop to fix them. But she's only about 23 miles behind Clarice. Pit pair, she is still about 30 miles behind the Roman Atanasio, 16th and 15th respectively. Benjamin Dutroux quite a bit further ahead now, I say over 100 miles. Damien Sagan in 17th, Isabel Joschke in 18th, Alan Rura 19th. Giancarlo Pedotto, 22nd from Italy. Conrad Coleman spoke to today in 28th. He's gained a place ahead of Arnaud Boissier since yesterday. Just looking at Oliver here, pretty steady in 32nd. Kojiro Shiraishi, quite tough conditions for him at the moment. And as I said, Jin Kun Chu has consistently been 37th on the ranking, now up to 34th for our Chinese skipper. Two Asian skippers, 33rd and 34th. Denny van Veenberg, 37th. Shabby still in 38th and still trying to get out of that high pressure system, but wind coming in for him. So that's the rankings today at midday. So the wind is coming in for our Hungarian skipper, but unfortunately yesterday I think he had to go over the side and actually swim under New Europe, under his Imoca, to try and clear some fishing lines and fishing net. And this is Sabi this morning.
Hi, Andy.
How are you? Been better.
Fine. I'm still in the sunshine, you know. I'm born under the sun. I don't know. Still stuck in this ridge. It looks like that it doesn't want to.
You had to go swimming, I believe.
Yeah, it's always some challenge. Yesterday I was recognized as a big fishing net, you know, the very, very thick rope with a piece of net were hanging on the keel, and it was already twisted, the rope, so it was no chance to move backwards or taking it off. And then I had to dive, and I must tell you that this is the most scary for me. I'm really not so scared to climb on the mast, but leaving the boat when you are alone, middle of the ocean, and go under the boat in swells and cutting something off. It was the first time for me, you know, single-handed. So I'm very proud I made it and sorted this problem out. And yeah, that's it basically.
And how did you do it?
How do I do it? Yeah, I just took my diving gear. Thanks for Kojiro to giving me a very nice bottle, diving bottle. I used this one. And then I was dropping ropes around the boat, down and back, and then open the aft hatch to easily to get in the boat in case something happening, or put the diving gear in. Mm-hmm. And then just dived under the boat and then starting to cut.
So say that's Sabi. The breeze should be coming in for him tonight, and he should finally get moving down towards the south and towards the Cape of Good Hope. Now, Loic, where do you feel this race is going to be? It's going to be won.
Where? Or
Yeah.
when? Or how?
Where, when, and how? All three.
I don't know. That's the beauty of a race like that. You don't know. You can't. The only thing you can be sure is to doubt, because nothing is finished until the finishing line.
That's right.
And for the interest of the race, it could be nice to have a little that the backpack, or I mean the leaders. No, not the leaders. The followers can catch the leaders and have a real race till the end.
Well, here's hoping. It's always about expecting the unexpected on the Vendée Globe. Loic, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to
Merci, Andy.
have your insights, and hopefully we'll see you at some point in the near future, somewhere sunny. Enjoy your
Yeah,
grass
sure.
cutting on the farm this afternoon.
Yeah. See ya.
See you, Loic. So there we go, Loic Perron, our guest today. Now then, that's all we have time for today on the Vendée Globe English Live session. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Guillaume Verdi, who's of course the designer with his associates, the designer of the leading boat, Massif Santé Prévoyance. He's lead designer of Charlie Dallin's boat. He'll be joining us with his associates tomorrow live on the Vendée Globe Live English show, 14:30 in France, 13:30 in the UTC in England. See you then.